Beach FC had the honour of hosting the opening match of the PlayStation 4 National Premier League's Queensland Women's Division, welcoming Eastern Suburbs FC to Mallowa Complex. The Sharks had the better of the early opportunities. This crossfield ball from Lauren Brown releasing Deanna Thompson, who bore down on the Eastern Suburbs goalkeeper, only to display her finish high and wide. Down the other end of the pitch, East were doing their best to get back into the contest. This sizzling run from Tegan Riding, beating several defenders and forcing a solid save from Sharks goalkeeper Bianca Warrener. The reprieve proved short-lived though, as East opted for the short corner and Karen Longbottom picked her spot from distance to open the scoring. A sensational strike for an historic occasion, and one to remember, the very first PlayStation 4 NPL Queensland women's goal. The celebrations proved short-lived though, as Sharks looked to bite back. Deanna Thompson staying just on the right side of halfway to benefit from Laura Seville's insightful pass, and finishing superbly past Abigail Gabriel Meta in the East goal. Riding again looked to push the issue for Eastern Suburbs, this skillful and strong-armed run resulting in another attempt on goal, this time skewing wide with the final kick of the half. There were more opportunities for East after the restart. Laura Harris's floated cross finding Hakana Dixon, who headed wide of the target. Despite the best efforts of the visitors, the next goal would come for the hosts. Rita Marshall turning defence into attack, then unleashing Lauren Brown, who cut inside her defender to create the space and delivered a neat finish in at the near post. But as the saying goes, you should never poke a sleeping tiger. Summer Dixon starting this move that went through several pairs of feet before just missing out on the chance to finish what she started. Thankfully, Tegan Riding was on hand to lob home the finish to once again level the scores. A late chance for East as once again the short corner proved effective. The cross floated in but the header went just wide as they had to settle for a share of the points. 2-2 the final score, the points shared, and the goals to Thompson and Brown for the hosts and Longbottom and Riding for the visitors. The round's complement of Sunday matches started at a sun-drenched Wakeley Park, where South United welcomed Olympic FC. An early scare for Olympic as Stephanie White demonstrated her attacking instincts for Souths, almost latching onto this nod-on before the Olympic defenders got it clear. From then on it proved to be all Olympic though. Leah Miles getting onto this cross and picking her spot in the bottom corner with a solid finish. Minutes later and it was 2-0 Olympic. Jasmine Perrin benefiting from this ball over the top to catch out the defenders, then rounding Serena Cunningham for this simplest of finishes. There was little respite for Cunningham in the South's goalmouth. First Christy New testing her reflexes from distance, before Perrin got through again and forced another sharp save. Olympic's attacking endeavour was rewarded just before the break. Demi Robin's long-range shot bouncing back off the upright for Jess McLean to finish into an empty net. The theme continued in the second half as Madalena Daniels bombed down the left-hand side, rounding the goalkeeper and setting up Michaela De Savia for another simple finish into an unguarded goal. The damage could have gotten worse for Souths as Perrin got in behind the line again thanks to some lacklustre marking, her cutback evading De Savia before Daniels put her shot just wide of the far post. There was still time for one more goal though, as Daniels controlled the ball and Matsuzaki did the rest. A delightful floated finish to cap off a 5-star performance for Olympic. 5-0 the final score. Olympic off to a flyer with goals to Miles, Perrin, McLean, De Savia and Matsuzaki. Sunshine Coast FC faced a tough order as they welcomed perennial women's powerhouse, the Gap FC, to Kawana Soccer Club. Opening game jitters got the better of the fire in the early stages. Savannah Botel Harris's clearance only going as far as Bethany Ashton, who finished for the Gap's opening goal. Ashton had to work harder for her second goal, showing plenty of skill and a bit of strength to round her defender before delivering a sublime finish to double the advantage. Ashton demonstrated she possesses the full complement of attacking attributes, using her height to best advantage to deliver a header and seal her hat-trick. The Gap carried their 3-goal advantage into the break, but Fire weren't giving up without a fight, Botel Harris making a save to deny Summer O'Brien. Fire's never-say-die attitude soon brought its rewards, a clean set of heels down the right delivering the cross for Samara Christmas, whose header was only denied by the defensive efforts of Beck Price. Fire's reward would come in the later stages, Jess Davey showing electric pace to get past Price before delivering a smart left-footed finish to pull a goal back. Not to be outdone, Messena Hunter showed plenty of goal to take advantage of indecision in the Gap midfield. Her mazy solo run ending with this shot, which pulled the Fire to within 1 in the final minutes. In the end, there wasn't enough time for Fire as Davey and Hunter's goals weren't enough to rein in Ashton's hat-trick. A sigh of relief for the Gap, but plenty of promise for the Fire. Pre-game pep talks for both teams as University of Queensland FC welcomed Moreton Bay United. Whatever was said did the business for UQFC early. Greta Bodie bearing down on goal inside 5 minutes, her initial shot saved, but Amy Chapman on hand to collect the scraps and open accounts. It would prove a busy day at the office for Jets goalkeeper Renee Rudder, making a save here from a long-range effort. There was little the Jets shot stopper could do though, as UQFC doubled their advantage, Greta Bodie opening her account with this strike. Soon it was 3-0, Amy Chapman finding plenty of space down the right-hand side, her ball across the face, turned in by Lindley Archard. 2 more for UQFC before the break. Moreton Bay not shutting down Emma Pittman from the corner and steering her shot in at the near post. Before Lindley Archard benefited from a bit of luck, her shot sneaking underneath Renee Rudder for her second of the half and a 5-0 advantage at the break. If the first half was a tutorial, then the second half was a full-blown football lecture. Georgia Chapman on hand to benefit from this deflection, steering her ball across the face for Archard to seal her hat-trick. Minutes later, Archard was again on hand at the far post, turning the ball in for her 4th goal and a 7-0 advantage. Not to be outdone, Bodie popped up again in the final minutes. Amy Chapman's sublime pass setting up her second. Archard then twice turned provider, nodding on this cross from Portia Lee for Bodie's hat-trick, then shaking a defender with a sharp turn for an even sharper finish for Bodie's 4th and a resounding 10-0 victory. The end result, a resounding opening round statement from UQFC and a great start to the year with 4 goals apiece to Lindley Archard and Greta Bodie. The final match of the round saw Baysiders Peninsula Power FC venture west to take on the might of Western Pride. Power had the better of the early running, Brianna Whitfield sparking this counter-attack after catching Pride on the ball. She played in Brittany Whitfield, but the scrambling Lorena Mecklejohn was on hand to spare Pride's blushes. The blustery conditions played its part in the opening goal. The free kick floated in but fumbled by goalkeeper Alicia Brown. Hayley Riccardi on hand, but Brianna Watt the one who got the final touch in the scramble. Pride created half chances at best through much of the first half. Power goalkeeper Jess Cicluna quick off her line to shut down this tempting cross. Another free kick out wide on the left for Natalie Brown later in the half, but no scrappy ending this time, the ball catching the breeze and dipping in under the bar for a 2-0 half-time advantage. Brianna Best almost set Power up for a 3rd before the interval, playing in Toni Brescianini, whose shot was on target, but Alicia Brown did just enough to tip it onto the crossbar and out for a corner. Pride player coach Lorena Maggio pulled a goal back after the restart for the hosts, but it only spurred Power on. Chelsea Martin unleashing Brittany Whitfield with this ball and the chance went begging. Sam Harrington picking up a yellow card in the wash-up. In the final 10 minutes, Power ran away with the contest. Whitfield showing some individual brilliance to create space for this opportunity, and a little bit of luck as the keeper gets a hand to the shot but can't keep it out. Pride remained valiant but unlucky until the end, the final goal summing up their evening as Watt beat Brown to the ball and it trickled over the line for the fourth and final goal. In the end, 3 valuable away points early in the season for Power, a double for Watt, with Maggio netting the consolation for Western Pride. At the conclusion of the first round, it's still early doors, but UQFC have a healthy goal difference atop the table. Olympic, Power and the Gap are right up top as well. Eastern Suburbs and Palm Beach SC rounding out the top 6. A further 5 clubs with no points from the opening round, with Southwest Queensland Thunder drawing the bye and starting their campaign next weekend. UQFC also setting the early running in the Golden Boot race, Lindley Archett and Greta Bodie with 4 goals apiece, Bethany Ashton's hat-trick putting her into third. We'll be back with even more PlayStation 4 National Premier League's women's action next weekend. Until then, stay up to date with everything in the league via the website, Facebook and Twitter. This presentation of the PlayStation 4 National Premier Leagues is brought to you by Football Queensland.